Although usually this is not the kind of things I do on this platform, but because of what is currently happening, I decided to do this video. And I saw a video by Bishop Onah, which his view has always been something that has been on my mind. What did this man actually say? He talked about what has actually come to unite Nigeria. Now, if you understand, I saw a quote somewhere in one video that said something: for every good crisis is an opportunity to effect a perfect change that could turn a whole things around. And of course, in our country, Nigeria, if you understand the way things are going, because of the hardship which our government and a lot of people that have been in power, if you ask me, for over, let's say, even 16 or even 14 years, it has made people to actually desire for change. And the truth is this: whether they like it or not, what is going to happen will definitely shock them. Just in the words of this bishop, he said he will shock them, and of the truth is going to shock them.
There is always company in misery. Nothing unites human beings as suffering. Nigerians, for instance, we have always been playing politics according to our ethnic origin, according to our geographical locations, according to our religions, according to our political parties. But the present government has united all of us in suffering. Now many Nigerians are no longer thinking of party or religion or ethnic group. They are looking for who will save them from this suffering. Those who are still thinking of a party, religion, ethnic origin, geographical spread, it will shock you. It will shock you.
Because what the total hardship which they have made Nigeria to endure, which they have made Nigeria to pass through, has actually become the unifying factor. And everywhere you go, you always hear people shouting, Obi. People are becoming more obedient as the day goes by, and it's becoming clearer that the coast is becoming very clear for Peter Obi to eventually become our president. And of course, this has been our prayer, this has been our desire, that someday we will see a brighter day. I tell you the truth, sometimes it looks as though blessings comes in disguise, and this is one of the things that will eventually happen. Some person says, that Peter Obi is just only on the social media, just popular on the social media. But I want to bring them to notice, of course, the new president of Kenya, which is the person of Ruto, was also this popular on social media, and people took him for granted. And at the end of the day, we saw what happened. So, talking of which, what just happened? What just happened in the recent town, or Arise TV? Arise TV actually organized something that was supposed to be a debate, and it turned out to become a town hall. We saw how the key people talking about Tinubu, Atiku, how they so much neglected the populace. People were expectant, people were willing to see them come to the debate. Of course, you wouldn't expect someone like Tinubu to actually come to that kind of debate, considering the fact that Tinubu himself, he owns some media outlets such as Nation and TVC. So you wouldn't expect Tinubu to actually come to that kind of place, that kind of event that will be run by a media outlets or media personnel that he does not have control. Of course, you wouldn't want them to ask him questions that he's not prepared for. Supposing it's TVC that is organizing that, now you know that that is his own people that are organizing this thing, and I'd be very comfortable. But for the likes of Peter Obi has been on media outlet, he has been on Arise TV, he has been on channels and so much of it. And if you ask me concerning what Obi actually said, I think what actually endears him to the people is the fact that he's always at the face of the obedience. So that is the decision. I think he should really actually reconsider what he has said, because if this is what sells for you, to always be in the face of the people, to always be there, people always want to see what people always want to see you there, people always want to hear what you have to say. There's no need for him to reset. There's no need for him to say he's not going to be coming out for any mixed debate because of what has happened. Well, if you ask me, that should just be a stepping stone for him. That should just be, he should just use that as an advantage. For the likes of Tinubu, of course, one of the Tinubu strategy, of course, Tinubu, there's no doubt, is an intelligent politician. One of his strategy is to always be with, those people that matter. Kingsmaker is for him to always be with Kingsmaker. If he can convince Kingsmaker will in turn reach out to their grassroots people, grassroots members, to able to persuade them to vote for Tinubu. Of course, you saw what actually happened when this town hall meeting was actually going on. It was somewhere in an elder statement birthday. Imagine birthday. Meanwhile, the press release that they released suggested that because of his political schedules and all of that, he would not be able to attend. But then he was attending an Owambe birthday. That's an Owambe birthday of an elder statement. This just is very clear. This is just his own gameplay, rapport with the elder statesman. We have seen the likes of where, if you can get these people that we call Kingsmaker, they can reach out to their grassroots members and get them to vote for Tinubu. But well, I'm just here speaking out because I'm fully obedient and I'm expecting something good to come out of this election. I was speaking with somebody. I told him, look, it is better for us to not like we want to fail, not that we are going to fail. It is better for us to stick our head on something we know that is good for the nation. And it turns out that it didn't succeed, than for us to keep having these bad wagons parading themselves for us to vote. We are tired of this kind of people. We need new set leaders. We need new set of leaders. And speaking of which, if you actually observe what actually happened in the last debate, the last election, when it was in the last election, when it was Buhari and Atiku that were the major contender. Of course, when the debate like this was organized, we saw that it was a debate that actually happened between the vice candidate and the vice candidate of Atiku and the vice candidate of Buhari, which is the person of Osibanjo and Osibanjo, which is the person of Osibanjo and Peter Obi. So basically, these people, is just obvious that they can't engage the public in a discourse, talk less of a debate. So when we see when we see Tinubu not attending an event, we know that when he comes there, he might be disgraced, and that is one of the reasons why I decided not to come. But for Peter Obi, we want to plead, we want to beg him and say, please, this is one of the things that have made you very popular. As a matter of fact, me for a person now, I began to hear more about Peter Obi when he was coming on the platform, platform that is usually organized by Poju. That was when I started hearing about Peter Obi, and I began to know about his ideology, what it stands for, the way his operation is like, and his passion. That is when I began to know about him. So if you ask me, Peter Obi should continue to be on the public space. If there's any debate that is made available that he is opportune to come, please let him come. But rather, he should be more prepared, so that things that will bring him on the negative light will not be there. And of course, whether you like it or not, there are always people that will not like this man. Whichever way it is, we are voting for Peter Obi. And I'm very sure that there is no right-thinking person that will want to stick out his votes for any other person that is not obedient. So till when the election time comes, we'll say, everybody, please remain and being obedient.